Grand Prix is the ultimate in motor racing. Most countries don't get a World Championship Grand Prix the first time they apply for one, but Canada did.
Everything seems to be in readiness for the start of the first Formula One World Championship event ever to be run in Canada. The very top competition in the auto racing world is here. The very top drivers in the world. We'll see some spectacular action, no doubt. You're just about ready to go, and they move on.
Of the thousands of motor racing drivers in the world, perhaps 20 are really qualified to drive Formula One Grand Prix cars. Of that elite group of super athletes, most are at Canada's Mosport track today, facing conditions that would destroy lesser men.
Jimmy Clark leading, Dennis Hulme second place, Graham Hill in third. Stewart has moved up to fourth and fifth, Gurney sixth, Spence seventh, McLaren.
The names glitter. Jack Brabham of Australia, 3 times world champion. Scotland's Jimmy Clark, twice world champion. First foreigner in 50 years to win the Indianapolis 500. Star-Spangled Dan Gurney. Graham Hill of England, another world champion and another Indy winner. New Zealander Bruce McLaren, who also builds his own cars and wins in them. Jochen Rindt of Austria, last year's 3rd highest in World Championship point standings. Chris Amon of the legendary Ferrari team. The greats are here. Stewart, Spence, Hobbs, Irwin, Bonnier, Fisher. And 2 Canadians, Eppie Wheats in a Lotus and Al Pease in a somewhat reluctant Gurney Eagle.
Al Pease did not get away. He's in the pits. They're looking in the cockpit of the car. As soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Clark now coming in front of the start-finish line again, and with Jimmy's working frantically. Both these drivers are twitching the steering wheels frantically to keep these cars moving in a straight line. Into the pits we have car number 71, that's Jochen Rindt.
On today's wet and slippery track with visibility severely limited, these cars are still touching 125 miles an hour, riding that hairline just this side of disaster.
They're all having trouble in Moss as they swing out on the outside of it, but in the chute they're using a different line.
Chris Amon
Must have on dry weather tires.
Jackie Stewart right behind Jack Brabham in the number 5 spot, followed by Mike Spence and Chris Irwin. Then there's a gap, and we have Dan Gurney, who is not moving that quickly, David Hobbs, Joe Rindt, and Joe Bonnier.
Al Pease is just trying to get away right now. He's had a battery problem. It's either loose connections or a dead battery. We're not sure which yet.
The Grand Prix car weighs usually less than 1,500 pounds. Its rear-mounted engine delivers 400-odd horsepower to fat, foot-wide tires.